Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
Every week, I need everybody to understand. Every week, I still want to say I'm Matt. It just I'm so used to hearing it first. It's weird. Hi everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Happy to have you here. Happy to be here with you for you. We're talking about Andor today. It's gonna be probably a hefty one, so I guess real quick, Matt, how's it going? What have you been up to?
Nothing, you know. It's we're just coming off the 4th of July weekend.
Oh yeah.
Don't think it was a very good weekend for our country,
Nope.
and especially Texas right now going through the flooding and stuff. So it's just very heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Everything's just very heavy right now. So, um, but at the same time, it's really something to see how the towns and communities are coming together to rally, you know, and just help
Hmm.
everyone affected by the floods. And uh, you know, that's it's just like an hour away from where we live, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy, you know, how it feels like a whole other world. Um, and it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? You know, you build a society that doesn't listen to the science.
Hmm.
And you know, shit like this happens, and innocent people pay for it with their lives.
Yeah.
And you know, and anyone who even dares to say, hey, don't make this political, it's like you're a fucking idiot, you know,
Yeah.
because
It's
that's
like
what this
how
all comes down to.
yeah, how can you not? Like
Yeah.
the entire reason why something like this is happening is
Mhm.
because of politics.
Yeah. And I mean, and here's the thing, like we're not going to have this discussion on it, especially because it's not a discussion. We're both on the same side of the fence here. But
Right.
like, you know, things like this, these freak storms, they happen. You know, this is life.
Hmm.
That's unfortunate. Um, but also the fact that like some of these rivers have one major flood like a decade. You know, you think you would be prepared for that, and
Yeah.
and it's 2025. You know, for certain amounts of time, you know, we were prepared, or we had different kind of things prepared, you know, for something like this happening.
Hmm.
And yeah, because of politics, a lot of that stuff wasn't in place. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of people whose job it was to warn us and take care of these things, they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this goes back to the politics of the country. This goes back. This is on the president. This is on Doge. This is exactly what happens when you have the last, what is it, 5, 6 months right now of this presidency.
Hmm.
You know, it's just like we're watching in real time the effects that those idiotic decisions are having. You know. So it's just like it is political. And unfortunately, if it weren't political, this tragedy still probably would have happened, but it would have been a lot less severe. They
Hmm.
would have had a lot more warning. And the death toll and amount of people still missing probably wouldn't be anywhere near what it is right now.
Yeah.
So so this is what happens when you try to not make everything political when it is political.
Hmm.
So, you know, and I don't want to get on a soapbox or anything, but I just bring that up because, you know, we've been talking a lot of politics on this podcast, which we kind of knew was going to happen when we started Andor.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So unfortunately, what was supposed to be a very happy and joyous celebration for a lot of people, it turned into the exact opposite, you know, worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I've just been doing what I do every weekend. I watch Star Trek to kind of decompress and kind of
Mm.
just like calm down and not let myself just get overwhelmed by all the crap in the world, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, you know, it's really inspiring to see all the communities and everyone coming together and our work. You know, we took a lot of donations and stuff to send out that way, and
Hmm.
even though we've stopped just because like we really don't have the manpower to do that. Um,
Yeah.
but like still, we're still trying to help, and we're still sending not references, the proper info to people who need it, because we're still getting people trying to donate,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, good on Texas,
Yeah.
man. It's just like Texas is such a great microcosm for the rest of America. It's like fuck
Yeah.
the politics, but love the people,
Yeah.
for the most part. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like I don't, yeah, just piggybacking off of what you said too, it's kind of unfortunate that tragedies like these, really do bring the community together,
yeah,
brings everybody out, to help out. Um, I know both you and I have been sharing on, our socials, you know, stories about the flood, you know, about this unprecedented tragedy, but also resources and aid. So, yeah, listeners, just keep offering up your prayers if you can help in any way.
right.
Yeah,
And of
that would be
course,
great.
these podcasts are so delayed, so this isn't gonna pop up till like a week after we record it. So who knows what the situation's gonna be like then.
It's
Um,
true, especially because we're supposed to be getting more rain this weekend.
yeah, yeah, and
So
that makes it even
yeah,
worse. We were in such a drought that like everything was just the ground was just hard,
yeah,
so it wasn't soaking in the water. And now that we've had so much rain, everything's full of water. So when it
yeah,
rains, it doesn't soak up the water.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, it started as a godsend for Texas because we really needed it, and then it just didn't stop. But again, it's political, and it doesn't even have to, you don't even have to think of it as political for this administration or the one before.
Hmm.
The debate over global warming has been going on longer than we've been alive. And
Yeah.
it's just like more and more time the scientists are being proven right, and
Hmm.
still people are refusing to believe it. So, and um, to bring this into Andor, unfortunately, this goes back to kind of what Luthien was saying. It's that pain that's going to get things to change. You
Hmm.
know, it's not just the rebellion, that we're talking about here, but it's things like this, these seemingly unnatural weather events, which it's funny because they keep saying, "Oh, this is unnatural, this is unprecedented," but the scientists have been warning us about this for a very long time, and it's becoming more and more frequent. Um, and Texas storms have always been nuts,
Hmm.
and now as an adult, like we just see them get worse and worse every
Yeah.
year, and it's
Yeah.
just like, what the saying everyone is saying nowadays, like this summer is going to be the coldest summer of the rest of your life.
Hmm.
And I think it's also going to be the driest summer of the rest of our life because storms are going to get worse.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, unfortunately, it's going to take all this pain and suffering for actual real change to take place. And here's the thing, too, it's not only Texans. You know,
Hmm.
the rivers in Texas are so popular, and it's summertime, so there's so many summer camps that lost kids and lost campers and lost staff, and they come from all over the country.
Hmm.
And that's a whole other level of heartbreak and stuff. But it just kind of it's going to send the conversation into like a much wider vacuum than normal, because I think Texans aren't the only ones affected by this,
Yeah.
you know. So, which is unfortunate that that needs to happen for anything to change, but
Hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm hoping this also like kind of starts to change a lot of people's, you know, hearts, minds, and opinions about Texas. Because, I can't tell you how many times, you see some popular celebrity or somebody like taking a dig at Texas, for politics, for stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, or any any kind of like political meme or anything like that where, it's just like
Hmm.
poking fun at us or, like, or in the worst instances, it's like saying like, hey, like this is what you guys deserve,
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's like, hey man, there's a lot of people here, who
And
didn't vote that way. And regardless of whether or not you voted, that way, I still don't think still wouldn't wish like a tragedy like what these
right.
people are facing on you.
We'll see what a potential third party brings to the table, which is going to be nuts.
Oh man.
Anton Krieger
No, no, no.
or Saw Gerrera.
Oh geez. Um yeah, let's get speaking of politics, let's get into it.
Yeah.
We're talking about Andor season 1, episode 12, the season finale, Rick's Road.
Hmm.
Boy oh boy, what an episode.
Hmm. That's
What
it. That's your opening.
Yeah, that's my opening. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ferrex
man.
is a tinderbox and Cassian comes home. Yeah, what a
Yeah.
homecoming.
I'm trying to think like, how we can approach this. Just smallest storylines, the biggest. Um,
I I think let's start with Mon because she's not really in this episode.
yeah, I was kind of bummed by that. Because we still don't really know like where everyone stands on that. Like,
Hmm.
obviously, Mon is trying to go through with wedding off her daughter, marrying off her daughter.
Yeah.
Um, we're not sure how Perrin feels about it. I don't know. I don't think he would be down for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm kind of curious, like, does the daughter know? Like, is she cool with it or does she not know? Because she seems fine in that one scene that she's in,
Hmm.
you know? And of course, when the little shit turns around, I'm like, this guy, he just looks skeezy. I don't know. Could
Yeah.
prove me wrong. He could prove me wrong, but first impressions, we're not good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, as far as Lita is concerned, I think she it's so interesting how it's so interesting like what isn't being said, what doesn't get said, like we just have this one scene and
Hmm.
it's so simple, parents introducing their kid to somebody else's kid. Um I think just looking at the scene here, Lita sees the door open, sees, like this kid, turns to look at Mon, and Mon's just like eyes down, like kind of like taking it all in.
Hmm.
And then Lita like almost immediately turns away. And there's a small little like smirk or something like on her face, like not in any of like, yeah, I'm getting what I want, kind of way, but it's like it feels more in line with like I think she's ready to do this just because it gets under her mom's skin,
Yeah, I kind of got that
you
vibe
know?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the fact that like Mon can't look at her daughter when her daughter needs it, and then, kind of looks at her once she's turned away, it's very interesting because Mon was put into a terrible predicament and unfortunately had to consider and then potentially go through marrying off her daughter in an archaic tradition she does not agree with,
Hmm.
just to fund the rebellion.
Hmm. But also, I mean, there's no doubt, like, if they find out what Mon's been up to, Empire's coming for Perrin and the daughter.
Oh, for sure, for
So,
sure.
yeah, yeah, it's not just for the rebellion, it's to protect them as well, you know. And
Yeah.
and I did like the scene where they're in the car and she's calling out Perrin for all his gambling, which he probably hasn't been doing it.
Yeah.
It's basically a front so she can throw the driver like off the trail,
Hmm.
which we later see him talking to the douchebag later. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
At the ISB. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Before we continue, I completely forgot. Remind me at the end of the episode, Sam, I have announcements. So
ooh,
if you want announcements, you'll have to listen to the whole damn thing.
you gotta listen to the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Also, if you couldn't tell, Dad's not with us this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had some scheduling issues. But if all goes according to plan, he will be back next week. So even though it's not an Andor episode, probably talk about Andor a little bit because I'm curious on how he feels about the finale.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cross your fingers, everyone. But other than that, okay, let's get back into it.
All right.
I next up, I'll say Vel and Cinta. It was nice. They didn't really do anything too much here. I really liked I liked Vel like really pushing Cinta, like step away from the window. Like she needs her, and
Yeah.
it's and I think her name's Faye Marseille, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, who plays Vel? So fantastic, just the way she can, say so much with no words, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like she needs you. Come on, Cinta, she needs you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it kind of works out because that's why they didn't see Brazos switch out with the other guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, nice. I did really like Cinta though. She killed the crap out of that spy guy, old school
Yeah.
with the knife. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Which like so like kind of interesting because we don't see that in Star Wars.
No, you don't.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets shot or blown up or
Hmm.
lightsabered in half. Like so to have an up close kill with a knife, and it's not a big thing. It's so small. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it was
Sweet,
very
simple,
visceral.
to the point. If I had written this,
Mhm.
she'd stab him and he'd look at her like, what the hell? And then she'd lean in and whisper, imperialize this. Ugh, and then stab him again. But alas, not every
Yeah.
show can be perfect.
Wow, Andor, it's gonna be 9.5 for Matt.
9.5. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but other than that, like they didn't really give Vale much to do. So that's why I did like her moment with Cinta because it was very just very like emotional, character driven.
Hmm.
That's one little scene. Yeah, and then they show up later as they're packing up, but still, it was
Hmm.
enough. And I know she talks to Luthen earlier and stuff, but as far as like her story throughout this episode, that was pretty much it. Um, but I'm glad. I really thought we were gonna get like a body count this episode, and there
Hmm.
was. It was just none of like the main cast. So,
Yeah, yeah. None of the main cast. We did lose a couple of people from Ferrix.
oh man, what was the
Um,
guy? The radio guy. I don't remember his name. He was a good one. So
Zanwan.
Sanwan.
Yeah,
His name is San. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. The other guy who sold them out, I was like,
Oh yeah, Nurchi. Yeah.
yeah. But
I was so curious, and I was a little upset with his death
oh, I loved
because
it.
oh well, no, like I do love it, because it's like, hey, deserved, but. I was kind of upset because like I don't know, I was really digging what this actor was bringing to it, like because it's such a small role
Mm-hmm.
in Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, you're not a stormtrooper, you're not a Jedi or whatever. Like, I don't know, like I was really digging his vibe though, and I was really hoping because they kept cutting to everybody during Marva's speech,
Mm-hmm.
and they kept cutting to him in a couple of shots where it really looked like he was affected by the speech.
Yeah.
I was really hoping he was gonna do something, like
Yeah.
because that, like, yeah, that would have
No,
been
but that's
cool,
what
but
I like about the show, and you've said it before. Like
yeah,
this isn't that show. There
it
are no
that's
heroes in this show.
that's the
And
Tim thing.
and yeah, like I like that. Like he probably might have turned. He might have done something, but he wasn't given that chance.
Yeah,
It's just like, sorry,
yeah,
man. You know?
yeah. It's very and yeah, yeah. And that's kind of the thing, like once the bodies do start dropping, like you really do see like it's kind of that thing from Dread, where if you like that one like medical like the doctor in the building, like he won't help them, and then later on in the movie he decides, no, I'm gonna help, and then, well, it's too late,
Hmm.
and it's like you gotta make your choice
Yeah.
and stick by it, and that's kind it was really cool watching this show again because I'm just seeing how like how everybody is reacting to the things around them.
Hmm.
I loved seeing Brasso through this whole season and how he reacts to things. It's like, hey, he was down for the cause back in episode 3 when he, like
Hmm.
tied that giant piece of machine to the security ship.
Hmm.
And then once Cassian gets away, there he is at the bar, just like
I
can't like it's not a heroic feeling, you know?
No, it's not. Even though it's a heroic deed, it wasn't a heroic feeling.
Yeah.
There was, man, I don't remember his name, but it's this popular like guy who talks a lot about social reform and social injustice, and I just
Hmm.
reposted it a couple days ago. But he's talking about, I think he's from the Netherlands. Is that what he said? But he said that the Netherlands had the most people uh, disappeared by the Nazis.
Mm.
And he was saying, he's like, but the thing that always astonished me was that like no one resisted, no one fought back. So he goes back and he starts to learn, well, who did? Who was the resistance? Who was it? And all the people who did fight back, they all have one thing in common, in that it was that they were asked. That's it. They were asked. And he said, it's not about, being good people, so you go do these things. It's like, no, it's doing the things that make you a good person. These are people who, for whatever reason, they weren't going to stand up or whatever, but the situation came, if it fell upon them. This
Mm.
opportunity, you're either going to help or you don't, and they decided to help. In either big ways or small ways. And 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 if it was all those little things, that's
Mhm.
what made them heroes. And I'm like, wow, yeah, it's like never really think about that. So like in the case of this guy who turned on them, it's like you lost your chance, man.
Yeah.
You chose,
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
be lucky if you get a second chance, when stakes are this high. But yeah. Um, so that was crazy. I'm glad Brazos survived. I thought he was a goner for sure. He's the biggest guy out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking about big guys out there, I'm upset that the other guy, the big guy from episode 1, didn't come out. The one who was like, he was like the muscle.
Oh, that big alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like friends with Cassian. It's like, yeah, where was he ripping it up? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say, like, that's a little bit one of my peeves about this show
Mhm.
is that it's so human centric. I
Mm,
know they're not technically humans, they're from other planets,
sure,
whatever, but
sure.
they're all humanoids. Like, they're
Yeah.
human beings, you know?
I think it works though, because there's so little fantasy in this show. You can't help but like you can't help but it feel real while you're watching it.
Yeah.
The more aliens, I think the more disconnect we would have. So
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Part of me still disagrees though, and I feel like we should have more. Just have one guy. Just have one guy in a weird latex thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Make put B2 as part of the cast. That part of the main cast, you know?
Yeah. I'm glad he's still alive. I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, he got knocked
Man,
over. But
that
I'm
Imperial
glad
knocked him over.
I'm
I was
glad that
pissed.
like old crazy guy came back and he was like cool.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Because was he the guy in the beginning who was like yelling at Cassian and stuff about taking the ship and stuff like
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah.
It
Peglo.
was, right? Okay.
Yeah.
He just seemed much older when he came back. But yeah, I'm glad like because I thought if anyone was gonna rat out Cassian, it was gonna be that guy. But like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm like, this guy's solid. Okay. Um, yeah. Next up, I'd say is probably Cyril and the Sarge. Sarge came back.
Yeah.
Again, there was nothing really for Sarge to do. He probably had one line.
Hmm.
Cyril, though, kind of like as a fanboy, hunting down Deidre and then ending up saving her.
Hmm.
Great scene, man. Great acting from, I don't know her name, but the actress who plays Deidre, like, oh my God. Um, just fantastic, and to see like that hard, stern exterior of hers just kind of like like drop and fall and like totally panic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that was good job on her on that actor.
Denise Goff.
Denise Goff, daughter of Alfred Goff.
I don't think so. You mean Michael Goff?
Michael Goff? Who's Alfred Goff? Oh, Michael Goff
He
played
played
Alfred.
Alfred, yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of, dude, it's kind of like what we said earlier. Man, there's some sexual tension in that last scene.
Isn't there
You
though?
know, just being
Yeah.
shoved into that cupboard with him. Like,
Hmm. And he saved her. He went in disguise and
mm-hmm,
against direct orders and then ended up saving her.
mm-hmm,
She would have died if not
mm-hmm.
for this one freaky little guy.
Yeah, yeah. And like he's into it. I don't know if she is yet, but like I think,
Yeah. I think
this might
she's
be the start.
I think she's willing to consider it now.
Because we mentioned that last time too. There's a part of like we through the acting, we could kind of see that like I think part of her kind of admires
His like zeal, his
quote unquote dedication. Like,
yeah.
yeah, he's just all in, man.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Like again, it's so odd. Like going into the show, I one of the things I was looking forward to the least was the Imperial side of it. I'm like,
Mhm.
ugh, I don't want to see this, guys, but we probably will. But like, it's one of the best parts of the show. Like, I'm
Mhm.
surprised how much I love these villains.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how the hell, Tony Gilroy? Oh man, I don't know.
I think it helps too that like we're following like the actual I was gonna call them like the thought police, but we're
Hmm.
like the heads. We're like it's ISB, it's the CIA. Like that's who we're following, like the
Hmm.
policymakers.
Hmm.
And then occasionally they have to go out in field, and do stuff. If we were following just stormtroopers or any of the other guys like in that are like controlling the hotel of Ferrex, I don't know that I would be as engaged, you know?
Well, we say that because all the other ones are very one note. The
Yeah.
other empire is very one note. I think what's selling it is that these other we call them villains, these other Imperials, they're not written like villains, like they're kind of the hero in their own story. But more
Well,
than that, they're all underdogs, every single one of them. They're also
yeah.
victims to the Empire. They're just kind of not wise enough to see it.
Yeah.
So I think that really helps us as an audience, even if we don't want to, there is a kind of empathy with these characters, or at the very least, there's a kind of connection, like, oh, I can relate to Deidre. I can
Mm,
relate to Cyril. Maybe not 100%, but on certain things for sure. And it's
yeah.
like, I could never relate to Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, you
Mm,
know? Those were always the people I wanted to be. I think as kids, we all wanted to be the cool ones.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
now just to see the people down in the dirt and the grime, it's like, you know, oh man, you can see a little bit of yourself in all of them,
Yeah.
Even if some of them are doing really heinous stuff, it's just like, oh man, yep, I can see
Mm-hmm.
some parallels.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's the brilliance of making them underdogs. And it's like, man, if I'm not saying Andor is going to make you love Star Wars again, but I don't know. Everyone needs to watch this show. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'll say that if you've never really enjoyed Star Wars or you're kind of on the outskirts, kind of like I have been for the last couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
this is the perfect show for you.
Yeah.
And I've always thought like the Jedi and the Sith and like that magic and weird kind of spirituality was like the my favorite parts of Star Wars. And now that I'm watching something that has none of it, I'm like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
When you strip all of that back and you actually make a human story, human characters,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow, this is something.
Yeah. I agree. Who we talk about next?
Luthien, he didn't do much either. But
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
I liked his reactions to the funeral speech,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like you can see him turning. Like I was always curious, like how down is he to kill Cassian? Like
That's the thing. I kept forgetting that everybody was there to kill Cassian,
Yeah.
and I don't think Luthen's ever been on board with it.
I think it was just kind of like to appease the others or just kind of to take precautions. But like I don't
Yeah,
think he went back to kill Andor. I think he went back just to see, you know?
yeah.
Um
He had Vel and Cinta there if he couldn't talk Cassian into coming back, into
yeah.
coming into the fold. Like
Yeah.
if that was never gonna happen, then they were gonna take him out, you
I
know?
feel like he would have stopped them from killing them. Or he would have tried.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, like once they say, hey, he's here, he would have called it off or said, wait, let's do this smart. And he would have
Mhm.
tried to get there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, the definitely Marva's speech like affected him and like maybe opened his mind a little bit. You
Hmm.
know, it's like, oh wow. Um, yeah. That speech though, man, it was good. It was a good speech. I really liked it. I love how
Hmm.
it fired up everyone. And I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's beautiful, and I love how we're well, maybe I don't love it, but I love how like seeing like echoes of that in sort of people's thought right now, throughout like this
Hmm.
series,
Hmm.
and then also in our, contemporary modern day, where it's like Marva is saying that like, yeah, like we've have been sleeping,
Hmm.
and we've been allowing these things to happen because we still had each other. And those things were like the things that were here, they would always go away. We would tolerate it, but it would go away, and now it's not leaving.
Hmm.
And yeah, like just having this speech, even having her call out that like it's easy for the dead to tell you to keep going, and tell you to
Hmm.
fight. But this is where I'm at right now, like please like find some courage uh in these words right now. Um Marva is such a great character. It sucks that I feel like we didn't get to spend enough time with her. you
Yeah,
know?
agreed.
Um yeah. I will say one bit of trivia was that originally Marva's speech was going to contain all of Star Wars's first use of the F word.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was gonna be um instead of fight the Empire, it was gonna
Hmm.
be F the Empire. Um, but
Interesting.
that was changed in the final cut. There's not really there's I don't think there's any real like it's like, oh, like, but why, what a mystery. It's like it's because it's Disney, like I
Uh,
know that they let some F-bombs go through, all that stuff, but I think they kind of had like a final say of that. But then I think also, you know it just I feel like it doesn't fit.
I like it becomes about the F word. You have
Yeah,
this beautiful speech, and then it becomes about the F word. If you hear that speech in real life, sure, yeah, that'd be fit.
yeah,
But if you put it in, then it becomes that scene becomes the first F bomb in Star Wars,
yeah.
and it doesn't become about the speech anymore. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's and
People gloss over the speech just to get to that
I
F.
always go
Yeah.
back to what Steve Martin says, you know, about the jokes and do you need to cuss in your jokes? He's like, tell the joke. If people tell the joke with the cuss word and tell it without the cuss word.
Hmm.
If they laugh with the cuss word, okay, fine. If they don't laugh without the cuss word, then they're not laughing at your joke. They're laughing at the cuss word,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know? And then if they do laugh at your joke without the cuss word, you don't need it.
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah, it's kind of the same with the speech. You know, it's just like I think it works fine. I think it works perfect without it. It wasn't needed.
Hmm.
So it was good. But if we want to talk about great writing, because I
Hmm.
feel like everyone and all the people reacting and keep talking about Marva's speech, I think the standout performance, and we haven't really given. MVPs throughout the show, like we did with Lost.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of the MVPs though would go to the guy who played Nemec because I think his journals in this episode was the best piece of writing so far in the show, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, and also his monologue could be used in our real world as is. I think he mentions Empire twice, whereas
Hmm.
Marva's it's all Star Wars. Like all the references she makes are Star Wars and everything like that. You know what I mean? So
Sure, sure.
you'd really have to like paraphrase it. But Nemec's what he's talking about, I'm just like, oh my God, I feel it in my bones, you know?
Hmm.
Tyranny requires constant effort. It breaks, it leaks. Authority is brittle. Oppression is the mask of fear. Remember that and know this. The day will come when all these skirmishes and battles, these moments of defiance, will have flooded the banks of the Empire's authority, and then there will be one too many. One single thing will break the siege. Remember this. Try. And I'm like, dude, I was like just goosebumps. I'm like, oh my God. And then you get the shot, you get like the shot of Cassian just looking out of the ship. You know, you just see his like silhouette. I'm like, oh, with the
Hmm.
gun, wearing the coat, you're like, oh, yes,
Yep.
yes. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Uh, what did Cassian do this episode? Excellent stuff. You know, I loved it. I loved Man, dude, Diego Luna's acting when he finds the brick of his father.
Mm.
Like, you know, maybe they played some music for him while he was filming it, but like maybe the other actor was there reading the dialogue in the flashback.
Hmm.
Probably not, but it could
Probably
have been.
not.
But more likely than not, it's Diego Luna leaning up against a wall with a camera, like probably 12 inches away from his face. And
Hmm.
he's just acting. He's just acting, And I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
This guy has got the goods. He's a phenomenal actor,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. Just again, like he has that like control over his face that he like has the perfect reaction to things. And
mm-hmm,
then he's able to like utilize that so that he can like touch a brick wall and imagine he's hearing this his father's voice, and then it becomes a beautiful moment, like, oh man, his reaction to when two times in this one, when he sees Bix in the hotel,
yeah,
he's he's like devastated, but he can't feel that. He has to keep moving, man.
mm-hmm,
Even Bix saying, like, Marvel was here,
yeah,
like that's how far her mind is right now. And then Cassian doesn't, try and like sway her for that, and it'd be just like, no, like she wasn't. It's like he just is. She was great, wasn't she? Like just
mm-hmm,
meeting her where she's at. I'm like, man, what a scene.
yeah,
Two phenomenal actors just going at it. It's great. But I'm gonna bring back Brasso when Cassian and Brasso meet up in the tunnels.
yeah, yeah,
And it's like truly it is like, okay, Cassian has already decided, like, this is what's gonna happen. Like, I have to do this tomorrow. Like, it's happening. Whatever happens,
mm-hmm,
happens. Like, he's taken this full leap into the hero's journey now. He's on the path. But when he gets to Brasso, it becomes that human moment of like, I didn't tell my mom I loved her when she passed. Like, I
yeah,
didn't. The last time we fought, or the last time we saw each other, we fought. And those were my last words. And immediately Brasso's just like, she told me all of that. And she told me what you were going to say. And then he gives her line for line, word for word, exactly
mm-hmm,
what she said. You know, he was already in this. He wasn't like, he's the spark, he wasn't the first, but he's going to be the spark.
Yeah.
If he just gets to it. And I love that final line. Tell him I love him more than anything he could ever do wrong. I'm
Oh,
like,
dude.
dude,
That just
man.
that
Oh.
hurts. That hurts in such it like a good way. It's a good hurt,
Mm-hmm.
like a
Mm-hmm.
loving hurt. And it's just like, oh man. I love the last one of the last lines she says to him. Um, what was it? Because he says he's like, I'm gonna be worried for you. And she's like, well,
That's just love.
that's just love.
There's
Yeah.
nothing
I'm
you can do
like,
about that.
oh man.
Yeah.
Damn. I love the opening, the theme song, and it's the band like warming up, and you
Mm-hmm.
slowly hear it. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's gonna be a funeral. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize how impactful that was gonna be. Like I knew it was gonna be a good moment, but also the fact that they're straight up defying the garrison there. They're going early, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even then, like that's enough to piss them off. Like, oh, they're early, they're early. They already gave them the permit, you know? What's
Yeah.
doing it early a couple hours gonna do?
Yeah.
But still, they're trying to find Cassian and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh man.
And not only the fact that they're doing it early, they only gave clearance for like 40 people. After some pushback, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be like 40 people.
Yeah,
No, it's the whole
everyone showed
town.
up.
It's everyone.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
All yeah. I know we're jumping around a lot, but also just real quick. Also MVP this episode, Brasso. He straight up uses Marva's brick to punch an Imperial in the face. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hell yeah, Marva would be
Mm-hmm.
proud, and I'm proud.
I'm proud of
Here's a
that kid,
brick,
man.
go take it,
Proud of
dude.
that kid.
Yeah.
As soon as we see him, he's the first one we see this episode, and I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
know instantly, oh, he's building a bomb. I
Mm-hmm.
still thought they're gonna try to go in from underneath, just like Marva.
Mm-hmm.
That was her plan.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, in a way, like that is technically what Cassian does. You
that
know?
is, but I want to bring something up, and it goes back to Nemec
Okay.
and what he says when the only thing more terrifying than attack from or resistance from above is when it comes from below. And the
Yeah.
whole episode, everyone is looking to the roofs. They're all looking for Cassian.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, he's going under. And I'm like, dude, Nemec
Yep.
was right. And it's just like, it's
Yep.
such brilliant writing, man. It's just one impactful line that made sense and it was perfect for that moment and for that episode. But it's
Hmm.
still perfect for the whole story. And like it pays off later. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, man, like, oh God, came from below.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, everything about this episode was rad. I love that Cassian was able to get everyone out, at least his little group.
Mm-hmm.
They all made it, it seems. And I'm glad that the kid made it out. And but then I also like how he went back to Luthen and he's like, just kill me or take me in. And I was like, oh, dude, of course Cassie would feel guilt about everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like this all ends, or not all of it, granted, but like a lot of this would end if I'm dead. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I was like, oh, he doesn't say that, but that's the thinking.
Yeah, that's the gesture,
Yeah.
And then even Luthen like considers it for a moment, but it's like you you've always known that you were never going to do that.
Yeah.
Cat, that since Luthen showed up, that's been his thing. Like he's going to take what he can get, and he would rather take a person than a part,
Yeah.
than a machine. It's like, yeah, no, because
Mhm.
that means more. That's more
And we
important.
see how many people he's willing to sacrifice for someone he considers a crucial part of the plan,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah, he's willing to sacrifice so many people, just look at Lonnie, at the
yeah,
ISB. It's like he's willing to sacrifice 30 men plus Krieger.
50
Oh,
men.
50 men plus Krieger,
I
so it's
think
like
that, I think, yeah,
I think
but
so. That's one of those things like I feel like Saw says that it's 30 and then but with Lonnie Luthen says it's 50. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Either way, it's not a small amount of
They all
people,
got killed.
but they all
We
got
see that
killed.
from the
Yeah.
ISB
And,
perspective.
and I love that too. I love that, like, I feel in many ways like any other show that would be a storyline. Like if this was Game of
Like we
Thrones,
would have seen it.
we would see that assault. Like we
Yeah.
would see that attack, because
Yeah.
it's more exciting, it's more bloodshed, it's a higher
Hmm.
body count. Like it really shows the stakes.
Hmm.
It also shows the stakes here
Yeah.
and how at least but it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Again, going back to, callbacks from within Star Wars, it's all from a certain point of view. And whose point of view do we get to see it from? In this instance, we're seeing that assault from the ISB. It's
Hmm.
done. That's how little it mattered to them.
Yeah.
Even Partagaz says that, like, the battle wasn't about getting intel, it's about wiping the bad press away from
Hmm.
the Emperor, out of memory, out of sight. It's like that's what the Empire thought it needed.
And again, they're not listening to Deidre. She even said we need a survivor. We need
Hmm.
people to talk. I'm
Yeah,
like,
we can't get
oh,
anything from a dead body. It's like, yeah,
because from our
yeah.
perspective, from the audience, it was a victory
Hmm.
because uh like Luthen said, like if they succeed, they're gonna keep thinking that they're in control.
Hmm.
And it's like, yeah, yeah. So I mean, even though those people were sacrificed, it's still a victory for the rebellion.
Yeah.
And just like
Hmm.
Deidre said in one of those early episodes, they're all they're playing into the rebels' hands.
Hmm.
I'm like, yep, yep.
Yeah. And it's interesting too how, like, uh Deidre sees all of this as like one cohesive network. It's too random to be random. But then we see the truth, and the truth is that they're all separated. It's Saul, it's Anton, it's Luthen. They keep mentioning like Maya Pei and
Hmm.
the Gormans, like all this stuff. It's like it is separate and it is desperate. And it's so interesting to also see everybody else who is piecing that together. Nemec,
Hmm. Hmm.
keeps referencing that. Even Marva in her funeral speech says that, like, they're like it's everywhere. And
Yeah.
like and we're seeing it everywhere. And it's kind of like the Empire has the idea of a rebellion before the rebellion is even formed. You know, it's like all of these other cells
Like
exist,
Antifa?
but the true Antifa hasn't
Yeah.
really formed yet,
Yeah.
and this might be the catalyst,
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Man. Yeah, dude, solid episode. Loved it. Love everything about it. Music was just breathtaking.
Hmm.
Um,
Especially like the ending, like the music over the credits.
and I like,
Like,
yeah, it was a long credits, longer, I guess, because it's credits for the whole season.
hmm,
But that score was beautiful, man. I was like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Because that also led to the post-credit scene.
Whoa, a post-credit scene? What fun little tidbit did we find out,
I
Matt?
knew it. I knew. I was thinking like, okay, what are they making in the prison? I'm like, it's probably like at-ats or something, you know?
TIE fighters, yeah.
Oh, you need to dream bigger, darling.
It was so much worse.
A fucking Death Star, man. And I'm like, oh, damn. Damn it. Of course it would be Death Star.
Now, now, as of this recording, I have not finished season 2 of Andor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Just life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it
It's a heavy
happens.
show. I
Gets in the
think you're
way.
waiting for
Yeah,
the podcast.
and it's a heavy show.
Yeah.
And in some respects, I might be waiting so that we
Yeah.
can experience it together.
Nice.
Um, but I want to talk about how interesting it is that we already know how this story ends because we've seen Rebel One.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we've seen Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Rogue One. And we've seen the end of Cassian's journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like he's on the assault team. The Death Star gets shot off. Everybody dies.
Mm-hmm.
it's so interesting to see the like this in reverse. Like the story in reverse. Like yes, like it's a prequel to Rogue One, fine.
Hmm.
Um, but it's so interesting to see that like he was for all intents and purposes like a hero in Rogue One. So to see him coming up from, from being just kind of a low life, kind of
Hmm.
just sleazy at the start of the season. And then to think about like, okay, think about the beach that Cassian dies on and how the beach kind of plays into like at least like two sequences. One where he gets captured, but
Hmm.
then the second where he like almost turns.
Hmm.
It's like decides that like he can't run. Running
Yeah.
isn't an option. Like I don't think like I wonder if Marva hadn't died, if he hadn't heard that, I wonder what his plan would have been. Because I think his plan
Yeah.
was still, after they got out of prison to, to go back. Like, I have to get everybody out, like not taking no for an answer. But then
Yeah.
he hears that his mom's died. It's like, it's too late. I have to do something different. So then
Hmm.
going back is no longer about going back to run. It's going back to save everybody that you love,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
I
and
think also
also,
too, that's why I brought up the fact that like he was telling Luthien just kill
mhm,
me or turn me in. Because it's like, okay, well, what is he living for now?
yeah,
You know, like not that like he's suicidal or anything, but like he was on the run because he doesn't want those near him to get hurt. You know, he wants to get his mom out of there eventually, all this stuff. But now it's him.
mhm,
You know, when you suffer loss like that, like it's like, okay, well now what? And now he's kind of acting selflessly, but also kind of selfishly because it's like, okay, he's not fighting for his own survival anymore. You
mhm,
know, now he's going back for the others,
mhm,
kind of with the
mhm.
intent of like, I'm not going to make it. Like, you know, this ends when I die, but I got to get everyone out first,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
exactly.
So, yeah, man, I don't know. So, I don't know if this happens in season two or what, but like the fact that his sister's never mentioned again, Marva says, stop looking for your sister. I'm
Mhm.
kind of guessing that like she probably is dead. Probably all those kids on that planet died. And like, I don't know. I could be wrong, but like, I don't know if there's enough time in 12 episodes to bring her back into Cassian's story, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So, and then like, just to think of his spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Rogue One,
Oh, yeah.
you
Sorry.
probably
Why are you
should.
here?
I mean, yeah, this whole
Yeah,
movie's leading to it, like, I don't know. And as much as I enjoy that movie, the show is a lot better. Um,
agreed.
but yeah, like I don't know, maybe he finds a sister in Jyn Erso,
Mhm.
Maybe
Ooh,
that's
don't tell the shippers that.
I know. Fuck the shippers. That's what they want.
That's what they
So
want. Exactly.
now I got nothing against that, but maybe that was kind of symbolic as well, on because he's not alone. Spoiler alert, he's not alone on the beach at the end, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
I don't know. That just kind of crossed my mind. I'm kind of afraid what's going to happen to Bix. I still think everyone's going to die. I think like probably one person will make it out alive.
Mm,
Um, Maybe the kid, because I feel like if they were going to kill the kid, they could have done it this episode. Like he's going to do something stupid out of emotion, and I
hmm.
thought that's how it was going to happen. But no, like he was very much. I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude, throw that bomb! Like this is the
Yeah,
perfect opportunity,
yeah.
So I think the kid's gonna make it out and probably B2. Um, I don't know. Everyone else is gonna die. Oh, we know Mon survives, so
Oh,
there's
that's
that.
true. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah,
yeah. I guess we'll find out next time.
next time. Which,
At some
speaking of
point, yeah.
which, let's get to our announcements.
Announcement time.
Like I said, Dad is hopefully going to join us next week. Well, we're just going to talk about stuff, just kind of chill. We don't really have
Hmm.
an agenda. We'll probably talk about Andor a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, And then after that, Sam and I will be bringing two movies to the podcast. We don't know what it is yet. So, actually, let me see. This episode should be going live on July 14th. And then Dad comes in, and then me and Sam will both have a movie to talk about.
Mhm.
And then we'll be getting back into season two of Andor on August 11th.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're just here for Andor, come back August 11th, or come back next week. We'll talk about it a little bit with Dad, and then
Yeah.
come back in August 11th. But I recommend you stick around. Listen to the podcast, see if you enjoy the two movies we talk about. We don't even know what they are yet.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
got a lot of movies we've talked about. We got some really good shows we've talked about. Go check them out, and then yeah. August, when we get into season two of Andor, we're kind of going to be kicking off our it's like the last part of the year is always busy for Lost Legacies because we go all out for Halloween, and then we do like holiday Christmas stuff, as well as like we're going to be celebrating the Lost Legacies 5 year anniversary this October.
Whoa, five
So
years.
5 years, man. Uh, what could we have done with our life if we didn't make this podcast?
Wow. Wow.
We could be
That's how we're gonna
rich.
look at it, huh?
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, so we're gonna have episodes every week, but we'll be back with Andor on August 11th.
Hmm.
And then next week, next I don't know, I guess Tuesday, because these episodes drop on Monday. So next Tuesday, we will be dropping episode one of our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, which it's gonna be crazy.
Hmm.
Now, no promises, but I'm gonna try and get episode two up the same day or at least the same week, because episode one is just mostly us in character creation. So, and in getting through like the tutorial.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it would be nice to get both episodes up next week. But for sure, we'll have episode one up on Tuesday.
Hmm.
Um, and I honestly don't know how often this is going to be. I don't know if we're going to drop one episode a month. I would ideally like to drop an episode every 2 weeks, just because it takes me quite a bit longer to edit those than it does the podcast.
Sure.
But I have more fun with those because it's visual, and to me it's easier to edit visuals than it is to edit audio.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so I don't know yet how often those are going to be. Also, I don't want us to catch up with where we are recording wise.
Oh yeah,
So we're gonna have to play a fit, but for sure we're gonna have our first episode up next week on our YouTube page, the Hidden City Book Co. on YouTube. Go find us.
yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
You can also find our podcast there as well as the both the podcast episodes and the video versions of our movie reviews,
Hmm.
which we're gonna have two more in the next couple weeks. Those are also on
Exactly.
YouTube. So
Exactly.
yeah, so stick around for those. Sam, other than that, hell of a first season.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm trying to remember how we would talk about it with Lost or Arcane. Did we do like a yeah, no, we wouldn't do like is it in your top 10 or something? No, we wouldn't do that. Um
Oh, no, it was more like Lost. We were like ranking the seasons, but I mean, this show's
oh
only
yeah.
two seasons. But I
Yeah.
think for sure, like Andor has to be a top 10 show for me. Like,
Mm.
I don't even know like what else like really compares, just because it's so compelling as a story and the characters themselves, but also in relation to what we're living through right now.
Hmm.
There's no comparison. It's like wow, definitely top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Season two could change it.
Right?
They could change all the score to be done by like a ska band or something, and I'm like, ah, guys, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Uh-huh.
Cassian, fire the weapon. God. I'm down. Hey, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm gonna write that down actually. Um,
Ugh.
yeah,
Cool.
cool. Well, listeners, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Uh, I hope you've been enjoying the show. Any of your thoughts, any of your comments, please uh, send them to us. We would love to read them. We'd love to shout you out. Send them to us with the hashtag Lost Legacies. We're on pretty much every platform. We'll find it. Um, you can find me on Threads, Instagram, and BluSky at Real. That's REEL Texas Weirdo.
And I'm on Instagram and Threads at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch and BluSky at Matthew Jimenez.
Also, in the description below, you can send us an email or a text, and we'll read that as well. Yeah, so until next time, everyone.
I think we have a new sign off.
Ooh.
It only took us one full freaking season,
12 episodes.
but I think we're overthinking it and it's been in our face the whole freaking time. So until next time, everyone, fight the Empire.
Fight the Empire.